Today's episode is the Gospel of Judas Part 2. However, this is Peace and Toodles here from the future.
From the future.
With a public service announcement.
Yes. So, ironically, Gospel of Judas Part 2 went missing.
Just like the Gospel of Judas.
Yep. It was in a file that it got put into another file. I don't know. But for anybody that was thinking, oh, they just decided not to do a Part 2 of that, and they forgot about it. No.
We had to go looking for it.
It was missing.
We find it in our little lockbox under New York City somewhere.
Yep, just like the original, the manuscript, I should say.
Well, pretty much error on the computer operator's job because there was 2 folders called Gospel of Thomas Part 2.
Man,
upon inspection,
that guy, we try to record our podcast and then we give our stuff over to him, and it's just like,
I know, you hire this professional rapper sound guy, Nate Bison,
yeah,
to
shout
do
out
this
to
stuff,
him.
and then he freaking messes it up.
Nate Bison is our local editor.
Anyway,
hopefully he doesn't thumble around his files to his songs that he does. Shout out to Nate Bison, link in the show notes, by the way.
For sure.
But yeah, without further delay, just wanted to let you guys know we didn't forget about it, and
yep. So
it is alive and well.
And here it is.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Traversing the Strange World with Peace.
And Toodles, that's me.
That's Jonathan.
Part 2
of the Gospel of Judas.
So upon review of episode 1 of the Gospel of Judas, we're like, that was a little dry. So we're not going to bore you to death by reading every individual little sentence this time.
Yes. We're just going to go over the main plot points and whatnot. But before that, we have
welcomes and announcements.
Yes.
Just like church.
In the ponderings of Peace and Toodles.
The ponderings.
Or maybe something, just need to blow a little steam off, want to tell a little story. That's my freaking case, because I'm mad.
Why are you mad, bro?
I'm so mad. Okay, so
I'm mad that you're mad.
What folks, I'll tell you what made me mad. As you folks know, or maybe you don't know, I'm pretty sure I brought it up in previous episodes. The past, last year for 4 to 6 months, I took singing lessons. And ever since last year when I did that, and prior to doing that, I've been doing karaoke to practice my singing.
Karaoke spelled weird.
It is. I always spell it wrong.
So why are you mad, bro?
So, practicing singing, it's just like anything else. I got to go to the gym, got to get all my work done for my business.
That makes you sing better?
I got to record 1 or 2 podcasts a week with you. It's just these things that I am devoted to giving myself time to. These muscles that I need to work, the singing muscle, it's just like any other one. So usually I go to, what are you smiling about?
We're currently recording, and one of the 2 of us, I won't say which one, is his underwear right now.
I'm not in my underwear. I'm wearing shorts.
Those might as well be underwear. Those are straight up chonies, bro.
He likes to make fun of the short shorts I wear.
They're kind of gay.
I mow lawns in these shorts, and I don't think they're any shorter than yours.
I don't wear mine outside in public in front of customers.
Well,
maybe that's why they hire you.
Maybe. Nonetheless, I got some gears to grind.
Pent up aggression you need to release.
I'm mad, man. I can't. I'm so mad.
Why are you mad, bro?
Okay, so usually on Friday nights, I go to Vickers to do karaoke to practice my singing.
Bet they were closed.
No.
Oh.
So my friend Lucas, he calls me up. They're having karaoke at this other place. I won't name the place or the karaoke DJ because I am not trying to harm anybody's reputation or their livelihood. I'm just letting off some steam. So Lucas calls me and tells me there's going to be karaoke at this one place, and the one karaoke DJ's putting it on. I'm like, I don't like him. Whenever I go to karaoke, at his karaoke night, like, you can be there for 2 hours and maybe sing one song. He likes to keep it at like a party vibe, likes to play a lot of songs that just make the women dance and everything, and just likes, like, if you're not, basically, unless you're doing this hype party song or this like a rap pop song, he won't call you. So I told Lucas that no, I don't want to go to that. I want to go to my normal place, because I'm not doing this for fun per se. I'm doing it to practice singing. And Lucas talks me into going to this place, right? I put in my song. I put in for Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks. And I got there about 9 o'clock. I left just short of 11 o'clock. And you know whose name never got called for karaoke?
Oh, no.
Mine. And I was just so mad about that. And so, before I left, I was mad. Like, I was mad. You don't mess with my workouts. You don't mess with my business. And you don't mess with my podcast. And you most certainly don't mess with my opportunities to practice singing. So, I was like telling my friends, I'm going to tell this guy off.
Were you mad?
I was certainly mad. I was very mad. And so as I was approaching him, I had something mean that I was going to say to him. But then I remembered, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Be neighborly.
Be neighborly. So I still told him off, but in a neighborly way. I was like, hey. Because he knew I was pissed off about but not being able to sing. I had approached him just shortly before that. I was like, dude, it's been like 2 hours. You never called my name. And he's like, oh, look at the dance floor. Everyone's dancing. Do you want me to stop that? And then
He had it coming, bro. You pussied out. Just
what?
saying.
No, I went back because I had paid my tab and I was leaving.
You should have punched him in the teeth.
And I said,
throw your beer on him.
Take this in the nicest, most constructive way possible, but you are not good at this, and you need to do better.
Oh, that's more like it.
Then I walked away, and he was just like, I left, complained about it all the way home. Me and Ethan, Lucas's brother Ethan, he didn't get called either. Because me and him like doing like old-timey, bluesy country songs. Like I like singing Johnny Cash, Garth Brooks, Coulter Wall.
You're an old soul.
Yeah. And Ethan likes singing Elvis, along the same camp. Well,
Elvis.
Apparently that can't be sang, but Lucas can sing Boys of the Hood, and it's just fine. So that was my pondering for the week. Something that pissed me off, and I wanted to tell my fellow strangers about it.
Sorry that happened to you.
It's okay. I'm suddenly no longer angry about it.
I'm glad. Were you mad?
This has been very therapeutic, yeah. I was extremely mad. I was furious.
Our podcast is changing lives one at a time. And today is your turn. Well, nothing that bad happened to me this week. We did go fishing. We got a canoe that used to belong to my uncle who has passed away. And basically left it to me because he's got no kids, nobody that's part of his... You're going to have to wait.
It's the same intruder as the last episode. Jonathan is a poppy, so he just has poppy matters to attend to.
Yeah, that was distracting, but hey, we're here. So, my uncle, I was trying to figure out what that crackle, like, why did my door sound weird? Like, the AC didn't kick on. It's like, it wouldn't have, so we don't have AC here.
So,
Wish the landlord would have said that before he moved in, but,
mean it's a ghost.
That's my beef. We moved into this house and the landlord never told me it didn't have central AC, and here we are without window units yet. sitting here cooking to death in this sweltering Michigan humidity.
Trying to record a freaking podcast, sweating our asses off. I'm shirtless because I was pretty hot. And
pantsless, too, basically.
Yeah.
You know why he didn't want... Did you wear those? Did you wear those shorts to the karaoke?
No, I wore pants to karaoke.
I was going to say, I wouldn't have let you sing if you showed up in
Usually
those
I'll wear
either.
shorts when I'm working because, working out in the heat all day, you get very hot, you need your legs to breathe. If I'm going out on the town, I always wear pants and boots. Baseball cap.
You redneck, you.
It's more, I don't really go for a redneck vibe. It's kind of more of like a, I don't know.
Country bumpkin vibe.
Down home, mountain dwelling fella. Lumberjack, maybe.
The beard makes you get the lumberjack vibe. You wear a red flannel, too?
Gray flannel.
There you go.
Green flannel, too.
Lumberjack.
Arrowhead necklace.
Not a shark tooth?
No, I'm not a surfer, dude.
You don't have to be a surfer for a shark tooth.
You're telling a story, though, and then...
It wasn't really a story. We just got a canoe.
Oh.
It's my dead uncle's. He left it to me, basically. It was part of the deal, like when I graduated, and I got that diploma.
Hopefully it's not Monty.
That gets you... No, it's my other uncle, Eldon.
I would be sad if Monty died.
I would be traumatized.
If you hear this, Monty...
He doesn't listen to any podcast. I've tried to get him to listen to many.
Maybe he'll listen to our podcast. Shout out to Monty.
Shout out to Small Engine Repair Shop out there on Rommel Road. You got something that needs fixing up, take it to him and he'll fixing it up for you.
Just don't go there to pick it up in the morning.
Yeah, he wakes up at like 2 in the afternoon. But he's up till like 4 or 5 in the morning though.
Why? Go to bed at that point.
So, where was I? Oh yeah, we went fishing. Took the family fishing.
Hell yeah.
And, not the whole family, because it's a canoe. Just me and my wife. We went up to an unnamed lake where we kind of made a haul in the fish. You
don't want to give away your fishing spot?
Yeah, I know, not
Just
really.
put a bleep over it. Let's use the bleep button for the first time ever.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't have one, but I'll figure it out.
I'm sure it'll be easy enough. Add a certain level of comedy to the show, reminiscent of the old shows that used to block out bad language. Well, here at Traversing the Strange World with Peace and Toodles, we like to incorporate a little bit of the past into the present while we think about the future.
What an elegant way to put it. That was cute.
Thank you.
I like that.
I feel cute.
Yeah, a bunch of bluegill, bunch of sunfish, and one little loner perch.
Did you eat them?
We sure did. I didn't have a fillet knife. I don't know where my freaking old one went, so he used this. A spoon?
Yeah, to scrape out the
Oh,
scales.
no. I actually fillet him. I cut the meat off the skin. Cut the ribs out. Nice, clean fillets.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, I did that with a straight, stiff knife. It's not the same as your little flexible fillet knife, if you know anything about filleting fish. Yeah, it was a pretty good little meal we had. Caught, 10, 12. Decent, like 8, 9 inchers. So, we're going back out today for more.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's my update. Went fishing.
So,
nice and exciting.
Jonathan's happy because he got to fish. For a period of time between yesterday and today, was unhappy because I didn't get to sing.
Were you mad?
I was certainly mad, yeah. I was very mad. I would like to find a place to do karaoke tonight, so fingers crossed. Another update, I will be doing a powerlifting competition on July 5th at Fit Stop in Centerville. I feel like this episode probably won't be posted by then, so if it is indeed past then, just send back hopeful thoughts to the past, and maybe your hopeful thoughts that you're sending back to the past will influence my future. Who knows? It's a strange world we live in.
We have an episode coming up eventually where the theme will be God is not bound by time.
Oh, yes. Neither would you say prayer is, if I am talking about the same story, right?
According to that story, neither is prayer.
Neither is prayer.
Only humans are bound by time. I'm thoroughly convinced. and our little four-legged friends that are here with us. So, those are the updates.
These have been the updates and the ponderings of Peace and Toodles.
I don't think everything needs an outro, dog.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
As I try to figure out this thing called podcasting, you know? Give me a break, man. Come on. How about you give him some ideas?
I think those shorts are squeezing the blood flow out from your legs or something. It's affecting your...
Very loose, very loose.
And, yeah. So, the Gospel of Judas.
All right. So, the Gospel of Judas, last time we left off, just to give you a little bit of rundown, we're not going to give you a rundown on the Gnostic creation story, because honestly...
That basically was the last episode.
I don't know why you would click on an episode that says Gospel of Judas Part 2 and not listen to the Gospel of Judas Part 1 first. So if you're not caught up with that, then that's on you.
Yeah, sorry that one's a little dry. We're kind of getting the hang of...
Finding our groove.
Yeah.
Finding our groove. But
we're learning.
So, last we left Judas and Jesus, we have the scene where... Jesus is basically asking the different disciples, do you even know who I am? Can you stand to my face? None of the other disciples were able to do it, except for Judas. Judas told Jesus, I know who you are. You are the son of the true God. And no. You come from the realm of Barbalo. And your father, I can't even utter his name.
Yes.
And then the various disciples, they have dreams, which is summarized to being the future of the church, according to the Gnostics. The Christians are going to do terrible things. They're going to commit sexual immorality in Jesus' name. They're going to sacrifice children in Jesus' name, which is a pretty common trend in old religions, whatnot. The worst thing you could accuse somebody of is sexual morality and child sacrifice. That's the Romans accuse the Christians of it. Jewish people accuse Christians of it. Christians accuse Jews of it. Everybody loves to blame other religions for doing that. Judas is seeing a beautiful house. It's representing, I believe, heaven. He wants to go in. Jesus tells him, you cannot go in.
I think we covered that in the part 1.
So now we're here. Part 2, Gospel of Judas.
We get into my favorite part.
What would that be?
The Great Realm.
The Great Realm.
Before we get into that, I had a question. I was pondering our part 1. Perhaps I've forgotten some things. Perhaps I wasn't paying attention. Or maybe they're organic questions. So, the unnamed, unknowable God that we're going to read about, according to Gnosticism, is the one that created everything, right?
The source.
Out of the clouds.
Source, yes.
Is he the one that created Adamus?
Yes.
If in the Old Testament, then, that Old Testament God created Adam, wouldn't it be the demiurge that created Adamus? In which case, why are there two different gods of the Old Testament?
Because Adamus descends down into our world, the void, to try to stop the demiurge.
Correct.
And in doing so, his two halves get divided. His masculine side and his feminine side get divided.
But if he was created, like the Bible says, by God, and the Old Testament is about the demiurge, then how do we get that he was created by the high God?
Because the God of anywhere in the Old Testament where the God of the Old Testament, Yahweh, is being recalled, that is the demiurge.
Right.
Yes.
But if the demiurge is the God that created the earth in Genesis, that's the same God that created Adam.
Yes,
I'm confused.
He trapped Adam's souls, the two halves of his souls, in physical bodies.
Well, you didn't freaking create him then.
So he created the bodies, and actually, the more we go on in the Gospel of Judas, you'll kind of see the difference in what they believed the difference was between your physical body and your soul.
Do we call the highest God by a name now?
I believe there's a few different names. The Gospel of Judas insinuates that his name can't be uttered, like it's not knowable. Some sources, I believe, do call it the monad.
One other question.
Okay.
Did we discuss what or who the holy generation was or is?
Yes. I believe the holy generation it's the highest realm. The gods that dwell in that realm.
In that house. The
Yes.
Judas
Yes.
seat.
The place where people with sparks of light will go. Their sparks of light, their divine soul will go back there.
But Judas can't.
It's insinuated that some people have divine sparks and some people don't.
Souls and no souls.
Mm-hmm. NPCs versus PCs.
So I think we left off ready to go into this great and boundless realm with the highest God, right?
Yes.
So Jesus is telling Judas that he's going to teach him some secrets that no one's ever seen. So word for word, it says, there exists a great and boundless realm whose extent no generation of angels has seen, in which there is a great invisible spirit.
That's the highest God. Yep.
I'm assuming so. What you said would be called the monad.
The source.
Who calls it the monad, do you know?
I do not know.
A luminous cloud appeared there. He said, "Let an angel come into being as my attendant." A great angel, the enlightened, divine, self-generated, emerged from the cloud. Because of him, 4 other angels came into being from another cloud, and they became attendants for the angelic self-generated. Then the self-generated said, "Let come into being," and it came into being. There's missing text there. It's mysterious. And he created the first luminary to reign over him. He said, "Let angels come into being to serve him," and myriads without number came into being. He said, "Let an enlightened aeon come into being," and he came into being. He created...
So the being that it says he created, I believe, is referring to Adamus.
Then it says he created a second luminary, which is unclear if that he is referring to the enlightened aeon or the self-generated, but one of the two created the second luminary to reign over him, together with myriads of angels without number to offer service. And that is how he created the rest of the enlightened aeons. WTF, ... So we have some origin stories of the universe here, of realms that obviously we can't comprehend, and it's just this limited information that Jesus says in a gospel that we are unsure of its validity.
Yes.
So take everything with a grain of salt around here. And then after that, it goes into Adamus, which basically there's another cloud. Adamus was in the first luminous cloud that no angel had ever seen. Oh, among all those called God. And he... missing text. After the likeness of this angel, he made the incorruptible generation of Seth appear, the 12, the 24. He made 72 luminaries appear in the incorruptible generation in accordance with the will of the Spirit. The 72 luminaries themselves made 360 luminaries appear in the incorruptible generation in accordance with the will of the Spirit, that their number should be 5 for each. So there's some supernatural, spiritual, asexual reproduction going on here. Mm-hmm. Seems like life is just created at will and as much or as little as needed. Mm-hmm. Boundless in power. But there's still a hierarchy.
Yes.
I mean, well, it would seem that way. One's creating others, but the others that are created have the ability to create also.
Certainly doesn't seem to fall on the grounds of monotheism.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
So, yeah, these beings
72 generations.
They create, and the things they create can create, and the things that they create can create.
I believe in ancient Judaism, it was believed there was 72 nations.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that ties into these.
Well, there is this passage from the Old Testament where it talks about God dividing, like, a different nation being allotted a different God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is connecting to that. Do you want to pause it real quick?
Sure.
When the Most High divided their inheritance to the nations, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set boundaries of the peoples according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Okay, so...
What's that from?
It's from Deuteronomy 32, verses 8 to 9. Okay, so in an older version of this passage, this was actually found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. It says, when the Most High divided their inheritance to the nations, when he separated the sons of Adam, it says the sons of God. Yeah. So I think this is going back to a very old thought that each nation was allotted. Because then it says Jacob to the Most High. The Most High's inheritance was Jacob. It's going back to like the henotheism that DeFrancisco talked about when he was on here. That each nation had a god, but Yahweh was the Israelites' God. I think this is going back to that.
Well, this is going to say something about some people having godlike qualities very soon. So, I said I wouldn't read from this directly, but it's so specific, like, you almost got to hear directly from it, because it's hard to summarize this stuff without just reading it. So, we got Adamus that was created in the generation of Seth, more luminaries, incorruptible generation, 72 luminaries, bunch of other luminaries from them. So the 12 aeons of the 12 luminaries constitute their father. And here we get into multiple heavens, with 6 heavens for each aeon. So that there are 72 heavens for the 72 luminaries, and for each of them 5 firmaments, in total of 360 firmaments.
Wow.
They were given authority and a great host of angels for glory and adoration. And after that also virgin spirits for glory and adoration of all the aeons and the heaven and their firmaments. Reminds me of Revelation, when there's all these beings gathered around the throne of God worshiping him. It's like, it could be one of these luminaries for adoration. So the multitude of those immortals is called the cosmos, that is perdition. In him, the first human appeared with his incorruptible powers. So perhaps this is Adam, as you were saying in that text that also says God for Adam. Well, here this says that the first human appeared with his incorruptible powers.
Okay.
So perhaps that just lines up with each other.
What does it go on to say?
And the aeon that appeared with his generation, the aeon in whom are in addition to the human with incorruptible powers, and the aeon that appeared with his generation, the aeon in whom are the cloud of knowledge and the angel that is called El. And El said, "Let 12 angels come into being to rule over chaos and the underworld. And look, from the cloud there appeared an angel whose face flashed with fire and whose appearance was defiled with blood. His name was Nebro, which means rebel. Others called him Yaldabaoth. Another angel, Sackless, remember him, also came from the cloud. So Nebro created 6 angels as well as Sackless to be assistants, and these produced 12 angels in the heavens, with each one receiving a portion in the heavens." So the 12 rulers spoke.
That might be talking about the zodiacs.
I believe it is. Mm-hmm. Actually, now that you say that.
Yeah.
The 12 rulers spoke with the 12 angels. Let each of you, and let them lost text. So we got some lines of angels. The first is Seth, who's called Christ. ... WTF. The second is Harmathoth. The third is Galilah. The fourth is Yobel. The fifth is Adonaias.
So back in the Gnostic creation story, when it talks about Jesus descending and becoming a serpent, well, Jesus was Seth. That's, I guess, his true name. He's an angel.
Confirmation.
Yeah.
Ooh. So those 5 ruled over the underworld and first of all chaos. And then Sackless comes back. Sackless said to his angels, "Let us create a human being after the likeness and after the image." They fashioned Adam and his wife Eve, who is called in the cloud Zoe. For by this name all the generations seek the man, and each one of them calls the woman by these names. Now, Sackless did not command except lost text, and that's all we got. And the ruler said to Adam, "You shall live long with your children." So, Adamus was created by the high God, but yet we have Sackless creating man, Adam and Eve. So are these 2 different people, Adam and Adamus?
I think it's talking about in the higher realm.
So is Adamus actually split into Adam and Eve? Because this doesn't talk about that. If he already exists, Sackless is saying, let's create.
That might be a different Gnostic tradition that I'm getting that from, because I do know that I have heard it said from a source that they were one being. But, the Gnostic sources, they do, vary.
Well, that makes it reliable, doesn't it? So, believe what you will. That is the creation of the first people. Then Judas asks about the destiny of Adam and humanity. He asks, what's the duration of time that humans will live? Jesus says, why are you wondering about this? That Adam with his generation has lived the span of his life in the place where he has received his kingdom with longevity with his ruler. Judas said to Jesus, does the human spirit die? Jesus said, this is why God ordered Michael to give the spirits of people to them as a loan, so that they might offer service. But the Great One ordered Gabriel to grant spirits to the great generation with no rule over it. That is, the spirit and the soul. Therefore, the rest of the souls, ... text missing. That's a head scratcher.
Yeah.
So God said to Michael to give us spirits as a loan, but then it says this thing called the Great One ordered Gabriel to grant spirits to the great generation with no rule over it. That is the spirit and the soul.
Yeah. It talks about in the Bible when Jesus returns, it's often believed Gabriel, I believe, will blow the horn at the resurrection when people are raised. So maybe that's talking about that calling home.
And believe it or not, there's actually not that much left in this gospel at this point. So Jesus discusses the destruction of the wicked with Judas and others. So there's a lot of missing text. The spirit that is within you dwell in this flesh among the generations of angels, but God caused knowledge to be given to Adam and those with him, so that the kings of chaos and the underworld might not lord it over them. So God caused knowledge to be given to Adam, which could arguably be the fruit, the knowledge of good and evil. So God caused it. But God said not to eat of the fruit.
You're thinking about the demiurge.
I know.
The demiurge didn't want them to eat it because...
So but who's this God that caused them to know?
That would be the nomad. The monad, I mean.
Or would it be wisdom, who was considered a god that came down and manifested in many ways, including the tree?
I think either or, because I think she was doing it of his authority,
Or is it the serpent that's called God? If that's Jesus, like what we've theorized.
Well, technically, everything, they're all
My brain freaking hurts.
They're all all these are aspects of the same God. They all come from him. So they're like trickles of light from him. So they're, in a certain sense, all him, all that God.
So Judas continues and says, "So what will those generations do?" Jesus said, "Truly I say to you, for all of them, the stars bring matters to completion. When Sackless completes the span of time assigned for him, their first star will appear with the generations, and they will finish what they said they would do. Then they will fornicate in my name and slay their children, and they will ...
Worst thing you can accuse somebody of in the old world. ...
and my name, and he will ... your star over the 13th aeon." After that, Jesus laughed.
Gnostic Jesus loves to laugh. We see him laughing in the Gospel of Thomas that we've covered already. We see him laughing in the Gospel of Judas. Canon Jesus does not laugh.
Right.
Only Gnostic Jesus.
Well, this is going to lead into another WTF statement. Judas said, "Master, why are you laughing at us?" And Jesus answered and said, "I'm not laughing at you, but at the error of the stars, because these 6 stars wander about with these 5 combatants, and they all will be destroyed along with their creatures."
I think it's talking about the angels that it says. Nebro, the fallen angel.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it says he created 6, right?
Nebro. Not to be confused with Negro. Maybe that... never mind.
We're going to cut that out.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
That's not bad.
Yes, it is.
It's speculation. That's what we do. I can't find Nebro.
It was talking about the angel whose face flashed like lightning and it was mingled with blood.
Yep, here we go. So Nebro created 6 angels, as well as Sackless, to be assistants.
Yes.
And these produced 12 angels in the heavens, with each one receiving a portion in the heavens.
So going back down to what Jesus was saying about the 6 stars wandering about.
Each one gets a portion in the heavens. Maybe that is actually the zodiac.
Mm-hmm. Well, because he says they wander.
Yeah.
In certain constellations, like...
Crikey.
They don't move, but we move.
The error of the stars, because these six stars wander about with the 5 combatants, and they all will be destroyed. So not necessarily those 12 angels.
5 combatants.
Yeah, that's the only place it said about anything about combatants.
Yeah, you're right. I don't remember hearing that word.
Judas said to Jesus, "Look, what will those who have been baptized in your name do?" Jesus said, "Truly I say to you, this baptism in my name," about 9 lines missing, "truly I say to you, Judas, those who offer sacrifices to Sackless, ... God, ... everything that is evil. But you will exceed all of them, for you will sacrifice the man that clothes me." Truly...
You will sacrifice the man who clothes me. Jesus there is talking about... I believe later on it's mentioned Jesus refers to his body as Jesus, but his spirit as the Christ. You will sacrifice the Jesus, the man who clothes me, so that the Christ will be set free.
Oh my god.
So going back to where it says that, like, the demiurge forged Adam, yes, he did. But his spirit came from a higher place, just like with Jesus. Jesus is Jesus, but his soul is Christ.
You'll sacrifice the man that clothes me.
Yes, he's telling Judas that it will be your job to betray me, to hand me over so I can get murdered, sacrificed, and this soul that is within me will be released and it can ascend back up into the heavens.
So this line has a lot of text in the middle missing. Truly, your last... grieve the ruler, since he will be destroyed. And then the image of the great generation of Adam will be exalted, for prior to heaven, earth and the angels, that generation, which is from the eternal realm, exists. Look, you have been told everything. Lift up your eyes and look at the cloud and the light within it and the stars surrounding it. The star that leads your way is your star. The star that leads the way is your star. Judas lifted up his eyes and saw the luminous cloud, and he entered it. Those standing on the ground heard a voice coming from the cloud, saying, "Great generation," missing text image. And the conclusion. Judas betrays Jesus. Their high priest murmured because he had gone into the guest room for his prayer, but some scribes were there watching carefully in order to arrest him.
Jesus.
Yep, during the prayer, for they were afraid of the people, since he was regarded by all as a prophet. They approached Judas and said to him, "What are you doing here? You were Jesus' disciple." Judas answered them as they wished, and he received some money and handed him over to them. The end.
The end.
Ends with the betrayal, proving Jesus' words true, and leaving us scratching our heads at what we just read. That is a crazy... Dude, oh my gosh. So how much of that do you take and believe, and how much of it is, like, fabricated? And or how much of it is perhaps like the Epic of Gilgamesh that's just the novel, maybe?
I don't take much of it. I don't believe... Well, no, the Epic of Gilgamesh, that wasn't a text that really there was theology derived from, right? Like,
No, I mean, like, the consensus is that's just the guy's novel that he wrote.
Yeah.
With some real-life characters, but the legitimacy of its accuracy is questionable,
but
you know?
This is certainly... It is written to deliver theological principles about Gnosticism.
Written strongly against by a lot of church leaders, though.
Referenced.
But if these church leaders were trying to get rid of the Gnostic view of Jesus, then obviously they would condemn this book. So we're back to square
and
one.
After the Council of Nicaea, there was this edict that was written to where all heathens and heretics, which this was anybody who didn't... Actually, the old meaning of the word heretic actually wasn't necessarily... There wasn't a bad connotation with it. It meant sects. The word that they were using?
S-E-C-T-S.
Yes, sects.
Sects.
Yes. And, well, basically, it evolved just like pagan. Pagan is anybody who doesn't fall under the Judeo-Christian Abrahamic umbrella.
But at the time of the Council of Nicaea, was this book in circulation?
Yes. Scholars believe that this book goes back to as early as the 2nd century.
But it was lost for a while.
Wait. Yes. There are sources of it that they believe go back to the late 2nd century.
About the same time, then, as the Council of Nicaea.
Yeah. No, yeah, there was certainly Gnostics.
But this book was lost for a while, right?
Actually, a Christian father... After the Catholic Church was established.
I was going to say, maybe the Vatican just took them and hid them in the archives.
He told... This is actually before. I'm not sure. This was before or after the Council of Nicaea. But Gnostic Christianity was so big at a certain point where this particular church father, he told people... When you go to a city and you seek a church, look for a Catholic church, because if you ask for a Christian church, you are likely to end up at a Gnostic church.
Where?
This is anywhere throughout the Roman Empire.
Huh.
Yeah. This church father, Catholic church father, one of the earliest bishops, he wrote a letter where he was telling people when you travel to a city, ask for a Catholic church. Don't ask for a Christian church, because you may likely end up in a Gnostic church. So this was a very big part of the Christian spectrum at one point.
If I could play a song to turn back time. Man, I would love so badly. I want so badly to know what they were talking about back then.
Me too. I would probably, if I had a time machine, I would just travel back to biblical times and figure out what all was going on.
I would live every life that exists.
while it's hot.
Maybe if reincarnation's real and we die, we'll go back up and then remember all the lives that we lived and be like, all right, here we go again. Memory erased. Dive back into another life. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll be Trump next time.
You can't be Trump next time because Trump's already alive.
Well, maybe we all experience everything. Maybe that's the unity.
Maybe the time isn't like linear. Maybe it's like you just...
Time is not linear, dog. I am thoroughly convinced that time travel is not that complicated. Like, it has to be doable. I swear. Like, people, when we die, I don't think we're going to be bound by time. I think we can look at the entire timeline of the Earth.
Like, if reincarnation's a thing, you could die now and then be born in the... like medieval times.
Yes.
Maybe that's where certain inventions come from, honestly. Memories you have of the future's past. You go back and you're reincarnated as an inventor in a previous time in history, but you have memories and inspirations from...
Maybe that's part of the oneness in spirit that people like to talk about when we die. Maybe that's because, dude, we're talking about infinity here, eternity. Like, you ain't got time in that in that vastness to come and live every life that has ever lived. Who's the person in the Bible that you feel like you could have been in a previous life?
A person in the Bible I could have been in a previous life. I've always liked and been drawn to the prophet Elijah.
Why? Por qué?
You have the showdown between him and the priests of Baal. He's like this lone prophet who him and King Ahab had this dynamic where it was just like they were enemies, and he's always like just encountering Ahab and giving him these, bad prophetic words, and then after Ahab's trying to kill Elijah, he goes out in the wilderness and he looks for God, and he tries to find God in a raging fire. He can't find God. He tries to find God in an earthquake. He can't find God. He tries to find God in a tornado. He can't find God. He ends up finding God in a still small voice that asks him why he's here.
Jesus in the Gospel of Thomas said that the kingdom isn't a matter of here or there. It's in you and around you.
Yep. I believe he was talking about Sophia.
No, not there. Not in Thomas. He was asked, or he said, if somebody says the kingdom of God's in the air, it's not there, because if it was, the birds would precede you. Mm-hmm. If they say it's in the sea, it's not there, because then the fish would precede you. Instead, the kingdom of God is in you, and it is around you.
Yes, but there's the idea that everything in this world, there's sparks of light trapped within everything. So there's little bits of God within everything. There's little bits.
Those of us with souls.
See, I don't know if every Gnostic group believed that, because like the Gospel of Thomas really seems to be implying that God is everything and everywhere. Almost like there's this idea in Hinduism that the highest form of reality, this is a concept I find very intriguing. The highest form of reality is that the universe, the cosmos in their entirety, is a god. I believe it's Maya, performing a drama. So we're all little bits of a god performing a dance, having an experience on a subjective level. But everything, the entire universe is a god performing this process, this dance. It's like the course of the universe. It's a dance being performed by a god.
What god are you supposed to pray to in the Gnostic belief?
In the Gnostic belief?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think there were the various archons. You would pray to various archons. It was very symbolic, very like I believe the prayers was part of the knowledge that you were taught to ascend, to be enlightened.
It's like there's so many gods. Are you supposed to pray to the creator of this world, the demiurge? Are you supposed to pray to this unknowable, unnamed spirit in the realm of the unknown? Are you supposed to pray to the Nebro that made humans?
Let's ask AI.
Let's ask AI. Do you have Chat GPT? Which one do you use?
I'm going to use Meta.
I'll ask Chat GPT. The free version, because I'm a loser.
What? No, one second. How did Gnostic Christians typically pray? Do we have any recorded Gnostic prayers? If so, can...
Some Gnostic texts do contain prayers or prayer-like passages. For example, the Apocryphon of John and the Gospel of Philip include prayers or hymns that reflect Gnostic theological themes and symbolism. These prayers often focus on spiritual enlightenment, gnosis, and the attainment of divine knowledge. Additionally, the Trimorphic Protanoia is a Gnostic text that features a series of prayers or revelatory discourses. These texts provide valuable insights into Gnostic spirituality and worship practices.
Why do we sit here and record this podcast when that thing could be doing this for us?
That's a deep question. Perhaps
Oh, no.
we're here to share our thoughts, connect with others,
Yes.
and explore the complexities of life through conversation. Recording this podcast can be a way to process our ideas, build meaningful relationships, and leave a mark on the world. What do you think drives you to create content like this?
That's a great
Dude,
question.
shut that freaking thing off. That's scary. It reads with expression even. That's wild. I've never used Meta.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't think
Dang.
ChatGPT should have the version that, like, it can talk to you. Maybe not, because you have the free version, you said, so.
I ain't spending money on freaking AI. I still haven't found an AI yet that can outright me.
Just like buying a
Outrhyme
tool
me.
set, AIs can be helpful.
ChatGPT says that Gnostic prayers were often directed towards a transcendent God or divine source that is distinct from the creator of the God of the Old Testament, whom they viewed as a lesser deity or the demiurge. Gnosticism emphasizes a more abstract, ineffable God, sometimes referred to as the true God or the One.
Which is why in the previous episode, Jesus laughed at the apostles when they were praying.
Gnostics believed that the higher God could be accessed through knowledge, gnosis, and spiritual awakening, rather than through traditional religious practices. The specifics could vary widely among different Gnostic sects and texts, but the focus was generally on seeking a deeper, mystical connection with the divine. Hey, so if they believe that salvation was acquired through gaining hidden knowledge, at what point do you gain enough knowledge to be saved? Or is it like a specific piece of knowledge? Get out of here with that thing. Traversing the strange world with Peace, Toodles, and Meta.
So, Meta, what was the limit of knowledge that you had to have to go to heaven in the Gnostic theology?
In the Gnostic view, achieving gnosis was key to spiritual liberation. They believed that knowledge of the true self and the divine was essential for escaping the material world and returning to the spiritual realm. This knowledge was often seen as a form of direct, personal experience, rather than just intellectual understanding. Does that make sense?
Yes, but at what point in the pursuit and acquisition of knowledge do you become saved?
Ask it again.
Yes, but at what point in the pursuit or acquisition of knowledge do
In
you...
Gnostic thought, the pursuit of knowledge is often seen as a journey of self-discovery and spiritual awakening. The point at which one attains liberation can vary depending on the specific tradition or text. Some Gnostics believed that gnosis was a gradual process, while others saw it as a sudden revelation or insight. The idea is that as one gains deeper understanding and knowledge, they can transcend the limitations of the material world and achieve spiritual freedom.
I can tell you one thing. I bet Gnostics took psychedelics.
You think so?
Certainly.
Or was it just intense meditation?
Revelation.
Not medication. Meditation.
A medication revelation. Yeah, no, definitely. I think it is a tradition that is intertwined with a lot of ancient cultures and their spiritual practices.
So ChatGPT says that the process of in the Gnostic practice, the process of gaining knowledge and achieving salvation is often seen as a gradual journey rather than a singular moment. This journey involves a deepening understanding of oneself, the nature of the divine, and the cosmos. Many Gnostics believe that salvation comes through personal experience and insight, which can manifest as moments of clarity or enlightenment. These experiences can be cumulative, leading to a profound transformation in one's perception and understanding of reality. Knowing that you've received this knowledge also comes from an internal sense of awakening or realization. It may be accompanied by feelings of liberation, a sense of connection to the divine, or an understanding of the true nature of existence. However, the subjective nature of these experiences means that each individual's journey may look different, just like when you get high, and there isn't a universal marker for when one has achieved gnosis. Ultimately, it is a deeply personal and introspective process. One could argue that faith is like that too, right? You grow in faith. Your faith increases as time goes on.
Yes.
There's a prayer, Lord, we believe, help our unbelief. I think the centurion said, increase my faith. So
they're related in a lot of ways because faith and knowledge, they're both functions of the brain to a certain extent, to believe and to know.
So in our canonical Bible and traditional beliefs in church now, the moment of salvation is when you pray the prayer of faith. And long story short, forgiveness of sins, trusting in Jesus for salvation, confessing He's Lord with your mouth, and then deciding in that moment to live for Him from then on. It's a conversion experience. It's a moment. So if it's a gradual process, at what point do you stop? There's going to be a point where, I need to acquire knowledge because I'm not saved. At what point do you start thinking you're saved?
Maybe it's not best to be looked at within that lens. Because other Christian or other religions don't necessarily have that threshold moment, They all should be interpreted in their own way. Like Buddhism is you receive enlightenment from detachment, but to totally detach from something and be alleviated of suffering, it's a process. It's not, there's the moment you started trying, but, and again, there could be an aspect of the Gnostic afterlife that what they believed about, maybe we don't understand. Maybe
if there's
ceasing to exist and turning back into energy is what they believed was returning to the light, returning to that realm.
If there's a paradise, and we're supposed to store up treasures there, but there's also no sin there, and jealousy and whatnot are sins, envy, then wouldn't it be possible for somebody to be envious of the spiritual blessings in paradise that somebody else has that they don't? And as far as Gnostic goes, let's say you got a serial killer rapist guy, and there's one day he's like, I got to do better and start thinking about my eternity, but he dies the day after. And then you have this lifelong practicing monk or Gnostic Christian. Do they go to the same place?
Probably not.
Why?
Because the other one hadn't been enlightened.
But those were his intentions. Okay, what if he's a week into his process? He's like, oh, there's a God I should be praying to. God, save me. I've been an evil man. Yeah. And his heart has turned. But he doesn't know anything, really. compared to this other guy that's a lifelong practicer? Do they go to the same place?
Again, I think we're thinking about it within the lens of Christianity.
I'm sorry, but I am, yes.
Or maybe
that's my background.
Maybe they had a totally different understanding of the afterlife. Like returning to the light was just ceasing to exist on a conscious level, but it's the eternity of like the matter, the energy that you are.
Have you heard?
Who knows? I could totally be wrong about that. I'm just like kind of.
Have you heard the theory that going into the light is actually like a new vagina, and when you go into the light, you're like,
vagina.
boop. That's the best term for it. What do you mean?
I think we've actually.
Sorry. Have you explored the idea of when you see the light, it's actually the doctor's light shining into somebody's pussy, and then when they go through it, they pop out as a baby reincarnated with no memories.
I have. We've actually, I believe we've discussed that idea on a previous episode, maybe episode 4. Maybe it was on an unreleased episode. What? There's unreleased episodes? Yes, just like there's hidden knowledge.
Just like I have unreleased songs.
Yes, there are.
Just like my cat sometimes poops in secret places.
Yes, it's secret. But, yeah, a lot of mysteries here. A lot of strange mysteries. You want to wrap this bad boy up, or do you have anything else on your mind?
Man, I feel like I should have thoughts, but like I'm kind of like just thinking about, pondering what we talked about.
Yeah. Well, maybe in a future episode in the pondering segment, you can speculate further.
I feel like the word pondering should have something to do with like a pond, like you're swimming through your pond, you're pondering.
Yeah, I like that. Maybe you hear somebody cast out a line and you hear bloop, like,
hey, that guy just pondered.
Yeah, it's thought bubble. Is it a bobber landing in the pond, or is it a thought bubble popping up? Who knows?
If a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there to hear it, does it make a sound?
Yes.
How do you know you weren't there? I don't know. Can God create a rock so big that he can't destroy it?
No.
But God can do anything.
All right. Let's wrap up this segment of the show.
What gets wetter the more it dries?
We will see you guys over on the music side.
Let me tell my jokes.
Okay.
What gets wetter the more it dries?
What?
Do you know? A towel.
That's true.
Where do you find a dog with no legs?
Where?
Right where you left him. What do you call a dog with no legs?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. He's not going to come.
I am pretty much busting a rib laughing so hard at these jokes.
Those were good, dog.
Dude.
Fantastic
Funny.
jokes.
Funny.
All right. Until next time.
Music segment?
Music segment. Oh, yeah. Music recommendations.
Yes.
What is your favorite rock song, classic rock song that somebody needs to listen to?
If we're going off from a popular one, I would say Time by Pink Floyd. Or Hey, Hey, What Can I Say by Led Zeppelin. If we're going off from more obscure ones, I would say The Final Cut by Pink Floyd or The Soft Parade by The Doors.
Nice.
Yes. What is... We're not going to do rock for you.
Uh-oh. I gave a rap song last time.
Yes.
The episode might come out after this one.
Let's just do a classic rock song. Yeah.
Classic rock song?
Yeah.
First one I learned on guitar. The one that made us friends.
Thunderstruck?
Nope. The one that we'd sing at the top of our lungs in the car.
Sweet Child of Mine.
With the windows down, driving through Sturgis. Guns N' Roses.
Oh, sweet child of mine.
Where do we go now?
Where do we go? Where do we go now? Oh, he's breaking out his guitar.
I effed it up.
Try it again.
All right, that sucked. I can't even see this microphone right here.
She's got a smile that it sings to me. It reminds me of childhood.
I'm gonna cut that out.
I don't think that was precious.
Listen to my song Eternity. You'll realize what I can do on a guitar, and just ignore that. Just ignore that. I haven't played that song in 5 years. It's one of those songs that's like forbidden at Guitar Center because every beginner starts with that.
They hear it way too much, probably.
And they play it wrong every time.
Yes. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's keep traversing this strange world with inquisitiveness and
gentleness and curiosity.
Yes.
And kindness.
And along the way, let's remember to be neighborly towards everybody, because at the end of the day, we're all just strangers in a strange land. That being said, until next time, I've been Peace.
I've been Toodles.
If you would like to contact us, email us at peaceandtoodles@gmail.com. Until next time, salutations, my fellow strangers.
What will they think of next?